time I'm going to get. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay. All right. Bang. All right, guys, I'm going to post it in the chat room time now. And like I said, you can come on via audio and video, or you can join just audio. But we'd love you guys to come on and chat. We can talk about anything that we've talked about. I'm not sure why it's... Okay. Let me make sure that that's the right link, because normally it gives a little... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a good link.
All right.
Somebody said someone put a banner up on a bridge that said, if you want an abortion, try the COVID vaccine. Wow. That's something that one of my callers last week was very adamant about, that we need to start banding together, raising money, and putting up these billboards around highly populated cities, around military bases, and really start trying to wake people up. I have a listener who's been sending me these downloadable PDF pamphlets, because I think that's old school, going around and handing people pamphlets. I think that's a good thing.
I love that. I love that so much. I've always got a handful of pamphlets that I drop in mailboxes when I go on adventures with the kids. And it doesn't matter what it's about. It could be anything. It could be 9/11. It could be vaccines. It could be anything. But I've always got a little stack of them. Can you please send those to me? Because I'd love to include those in my Substack, George. Those
Yes,
PDF files are super, super important to have.
Yep, I will forward them to you. Actually, I'll go then. I want to give credit to the guy. I can never remember between the messages on the social media and the emails. I apologize.
Oh, Bradley, are you there?
Hey, look at that. We have somebody joining us. That's awesome.
Look at us.
Brad, can you hear us? He may be getting his audio together. Check one. Brad, can you hear us now? Brad, if you go to your audio settings, you can click on what the audio setting that you want to use. He dropped off. He just needs to adjust his audio settings. Try again, Brad. It should ask you when you first come on for your audio settings. Sometimes that can be a bit of a trip up.
Yeah, don't I know it? Don't I know it?
Oh, he's in the chat room. There he is. All right, here he comes. There you go. You should hear us now, Brad, right? There you go. You're in. Hello.
You gotta let me like that here too.
You guys are coming through loud and clear.
Are you okay, Brad?
Yeah.
Hey, Brad, what's going on? I don't think he's hearing us.
Yeah, maybe unmute. Maybe you're on mute on your end. Oh.
Your bruise already is almost gone. Mommy was so worried about that.
Oh, you know what? I think
What's
maybe that she's added herself to the stream, but because she's just written on the side here, just enjoying your show.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if she meant to actually join the stream or not.
Oh, okay. No problem.
So I'll just leave it until her camera comes on or something, just like on the side there, just until, because otherwise I just don't want to interrupt in case she's accidentally sharing personal
gotcha.
time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that sounded like baby talk.
Yeah, it was. So what else? What else did we want to touch on?
Well, back to the Abramovich stuff. I think so. In looking towards what we were talking about, I'd really like to touch on the fact that she's trying to bring through virtual reality. Microsoft and Bill Gates has just recently teamed up with her to release a new show, and it's to do with virtual reality and everything associated with it. Now, it was there was a commercial loaded up on YouTube. It had 34,000 dislikes, and the comments were disabled from the very get-go. They never had the comments active on there. But it was deleted very shortly after. So it's tried to be scrubbed from the website, but now you can find it on Luke Radowski. What's his channel name? I can't remember.
Now, are you talking about the one from 3 or 4 years ago where they ran the commercial and it got so much heat they ended up pulling the commercial from Microsoft?
This is a new one. This is the new one with the virtual. This is the virtual reality one that they've just. So she's doing a new installation where she's combining reality and virtual reality together.
Okay.
Luke, we are change. We are change. He did a video on it as well.
That's interesting. I'm seeing some creepy stuff, but I don't see anything that's really. Well, here's one here from. Does the name Anish Kapoor ring a bell?
Well, maybe, yeah. Hang on a sec. I've got the video in the. I think I sent it.
Is it the picture of her in virtual reality?
Yeah, and it's like a white background.
Yeah, I've got it. Do you want me to run it real quick?
Yeah, go and run it.
Okay.
It's a fascinating listen for sure. And can we please play the golem thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Please, because
I
feel like that was. Yep, here we go. Add to stream.
Is that the one?
Look at the freak. Yes, that's her.
Okay, here we go. It's 2 minutes.
This video game will present players with the opportunity to save lives in urban landscapes radically altered by catastrophic flooding. Performance is all about process. I can push my body limits as far as I can go. We are 21st century. Things change. I've been introduced to virtual reality. I understood that the possibilities are enormous. Whatever you can't do with your body, you as avatar can actually do endlessly. Some predictions say that even 100 years, our human race will not exist on this planet. I want to address these issues. You're saving the human being and you're saving the planet. Or you're not saving the planet and you make human beings die. And the choice is only yours. With virtual reality technology, players will be immersed in a dystopian world that seems increasingly likely to be the future of our planet. I hope to explore the questions if immersive play will increase empathy for the present and the future victims of climate change, and how this experience will affect players' consciousness and energy. In real life, when someone rescues another person or offers aid of any kind, there is a transfer of energy. The recipient of the help and the provider of aid are both affected by the experience. Will the same happen in a virtual reality?
And for the folks listening, man, that's something you definitely need to watch. But this inadvertently kind of connected another dot for me. This is from Vive Arts, and they became one of the first virtual reality partners of Art Basel in 2018. Now, Art Basel is Basel is from Basel, Switzerland. So this VR company has direct connections to Basel, Switzerland, and I've touched on Basel and Switzerland because I think that both Israel and Ukraine and these things are, again, misleading breadcrumbs. I think the home of evil on earth lies in Switzerland.
I am in complete agreement with you. I'm in complete agreement. There's a reason why the saying exists: Switzerland is the in-between place. And if you think that predictive programming is real and that Project Mockingbird is real, then you will look at things like the most highly promoted TV show in the world in recent existence, The Game of Thrones, and you will analyze that with the same point of view, because they do represent that in that show as well, very clearly.
Yep. And there you go. Oh yeah, and
they also promote the flat Earth and the wall of the ring of ice and the beings behind the wall of ice and just what the hell. Anyway, and zombies.
You talk about the Game of Thrones?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Bradley, we can see your messages. So if you wanted to ask your question there, if you're having, Bradley said that there was a little choppiness with the stream, but you can ask your question either in the chat room or in the private chat here on the StreamYard, and we'd be more than happy to answer your question. It always goes back to Switzerland. It sure does.
It does. And isn't it interesting? So, yeah, but there's lots of things that lead back to Switzerland too, isn't there? Like there's like the seed bank and all of those things and all of the folklore that comes out of those clusters of area up there in that, well, I say up there because I'm in Australia. Across there for you. Everything's upside down here, don't you know? Yeah.
Now, is the thing you wanted me to play, is that little clip?
Hang on. I'll send you the full clip of it because I think, oh, hang on. Just ignore that. I accidentally pushed send.
Okay, no problem.
That clip is by a channel called Face Like the Sun. And if your listeners haven't heard of him, please go look him up. I think it's Canary Cry Live Talk is his Rumble channel. But he's got some phenomenal information, and he did a documentary called goodness me, hang on a sec, I'll pull it all up so that we've got it for the notes and stuff as well.
Well, while you're looking for that, Bradley's question came through, and the question was that in 1947, a day after Israel was acknowledged as a country by the UN, the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered. Also in 1947, during that time, there were hundreds of UFO sightings. Yeah, I know into the 40s and 50s, there was an awful lot of UFO sightings. Now, I do know that Israel formally became a country, was acknowledged by the United Nations. I think it was May 11th, 1949. I am not familiar. They declared in 48, about a year before. But I am not familiar exactly when the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. And I'll tell you here in just a moment. They were, well, you see, there's no exact, according to this, they were discovered between 1946 and 1947. But all of that did happen within about a 2-year period. 46, they began to discover them. And then 48 is when they were formally announced as a country. So that's a pretty interesting take, Brad.
That is really interesting. I hadn't thought about it from that. I'm going to look further into that. That's cool. That's a cool note.
Yep. And then goes on to say that the Dead Sea Scrolls predate the Hebrew Bible.
And so that comes hand in hand with what I was talking about the lost books of the Bible. Like, that's why one of my favorite things to say is #open the vaults, because if we get hold of whatever's in those Vatican vaults, I feel like that would give us a complete picture. So what I want to be very clear about, the parts of the Bible that I think they've edited out are the parts that help us further our knowledge and closeness to God. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they've taken those parts of the book and altered them so that we are not necessarily worshipping the way we should be, because there are specific rituals and there's specific things that we can do to, say, connect to the God of the Bible, right? Like praying in a certain way, praying in a certain cloth, having cotton on, no polyester, things like that. There's actually references in the Bible to only wearing one type of fabric. So, like, if you mix fibers, it mixes your energy. Really interesting thought process. But like things like that, it's I just wanted to make it very clear that I don't think that the whole Bible is a lie. I think that it's been manipulated in a massive way, and that we're missing the chunk that we need to be able to surpass these people. Do you see what I'm saying? To prevent